Unapologetic Americans.
Hey, what up? It's your man B Money back at you for another week of Unapologetic Americans. As always, with me, my main man, Mad Chad. How we doing this week, brother?
Dude, we're great. I'm starting to heal up. I got my stitches out yesterday. Life's good. Feels a little bit more mobile. It's funny how when your body starts healing up, it feels like it's pulling back on your muscles and it just throbs, aches. So
You're just old.
there's that
You're
part
old.
too.
That's all it is.
Well, that's most part of it.
So, got a good episode for you. We have a guest coming on later potentially.
Yeah.
Brandon Campbell.
Yeah, Brandon Campbell.
Tell us a little bit on his background, real quick. He's not on here yet, but
He's a regional director for the UAW. He's running for a new position. Just a good guy. Just want to go through that process, what it's like to run through. I know what it's like to run through local elections. No idea what it's like to run through an international election, on what that takes and how demanding that is on your body, and being able to do your job that you're currently doing. So hopefully he can shed some light on that. We're looking forward to hearing back from him. I know he's lit dropping tonight at some gates across some of the different facilities he's trying to campaign at.
so we got a couple election recaps from our guests, but let's get our sponsors out of the way first, people that make this happen. My first one, I got H2O Restaurant in Bay City.
Yeah, they got good food.
It's at 9960 East Midland Street in Bay City, H2O.
I haven't been there in a minute.
So it's the old Hooters.
Yeah.
But it's right on the water, and they got the marina right next, so they got water on two
Do
sides.
they still have all the docks that they maintained, you know?
Yeah, they're maintained. Yeah, people
Okay.
pull up on their boats, there's nothing cooler than pulling up on your
Oh,
boat to
man.
grab a bite to eat.
I love doing that. Dude.
There's something so cool about
That's
it.
the biggest thing I miss about my boat, is that right there.
Yeah. So, but anyways, H2O, great meals there. That if you want some seafood, you want a steak, you want a sandwich, it doesn't matter. They got good food there, good drinks too. I've been pleased with the drinks there, so I've had good experiences there. H2O in Bay City.
I have Financial Plus in Flint, Michigan.
I love these regulars.
I know the regulars are so good. Well, here's the thing: when you get to work with a regular thing and you find a good thing that works with you, just stay with it. Financial Plus is doing it right. They're doing what's right for their community. They're trying to give us good interest rates on our things, offering first-time home buyers good rates right now. I know that, and if you're in the market for a car or any kind of loan, consolidation or whatever, go see them. They take care of you.
The nice thing about a small local credit union too is they probably tend to give back a little more to the local community.
Yes, they do. Yeah,
and I know they're big on that.
Yep, I partnered with them on quite a few different projects, so it's nice to hear back from them on stuff, and I know they actually follow the program, so it's good to have people that support us too. So
Yeah, Financial Plus, and as always, Spirit of the Great Lakes Tequila, dude. Check that sign out. How
beautiful.
cool is that?
that is probably the coolest sign ever.
I mean, I had to pay for it.
Well, most of the cool things in life you have to pay for.
So again, GreatLakesTequila.com. Get on there. You can check out the story of why they tell the story on the website of why they're a premium tequila, what sets them apart from other brands.
If you've had the chance to partake and explore and have some of it, I see they have their reviews up today on Google. So if you've had it, put a review out there, 5-star and whatever else.
5-star, nothing but positive, but great product. Hit that orange buy now button. It comes right to your doorstep. I've ordered it a few times, and it's usually about 3-4 days.
Yeah,
it's sitting at my doorstep, so you can't really beat that. So back to a few things before we get into some of the past guests. I realized since we started videoing, did you look old as shit on the videos?
Thank you.
It's
wisdom.
It's all like it's the beard and everything. Yeah, you look established. I shouldn't say old. You look established.
I look like one of the three wise men. What you're saying? I was contemplating
Maybe
trimming my beard.
That came out wrong.
I was contemplating trimming my beard back this week because I just don't know. It's so close to hunting season. It keeps my face so long.
It is close. Are you gonna be able to partake in hunting season with the gimp arm? Are you gonna be healed up by then to the therapy?
They told me I would be. They told me at least by gun season I should be back to normal. But bow season's gonna be iffy.
So I know you're kind of ambidextrous a little bit. Where do you rest your crossbow or your gun? Which
I rest it on my bog.
Okay, but you still pick a shoulder.
Yeah, my left shoulder.
Your left shoulder.
It is,
so that's the bump.
Yeah. Okay. So and they honestly, so I looked at they had imaging up this week when I went in and got my stitches out, that of what all was ripped and what all was tore in there, and with the labrum being torn, that bicep where it was hooked there too was hammered down, and they're like, they don't know what caused that, and I said, is it repetitively shooting? Because I tend to go through, like when we go to do the duck hunts or any of the clay shoots or whatever, you go through a couple hundred rounds, or if we go out shooting our rifles, and I go through 50 or 60 round. So that's where we're at with that. So they think that maybe I might have hammered it, and that's why it looked so bad. And and maybe maybe explains a lot more because it was during deer hunting season too. So
Yeah, it could be.
we got a
Yeah.
couple things that just
So,
happened.
so we got a few things. So I want to recap real quick. We had our elections recently.
Yeah.
We went 3 for 4.
Yeah.
So politicians, if you come on our show, there's a 75% chance you win your election. I can say that. We had
Pretty solid numbers.
super solid numbers. We had Matthew Beerline,
Yep.
won pretty convincingly.
He did. He did a good job.
Prior Bears came
Prior
through,
Bears, yeah.
won pretty convincingly. Jack Bader won
Jack
pretty
Bader.
convincingly.
Yeah.
And Sheriff Chris Swanson, he was very generous with a couple moments or a couple days of his time for us.
Yeah.
Did not fare well, but it wasn't due to lack of effort. That guy worked his butt off.
No, I'm really proud of the effort he put into it.
Yeah,
I don't know that
yeah.
he could have done any more and gone against the big money that he went against, and try and be successful. There's a couple of things that you look back on it, that are disappointing, but it's you can't change who people are like that, the voters. I mean, because when you get clicked into a stereotype, as being a cop and being, you know what I mean, it kind of hangs with you. People they don't want a cop. They told us,
but
regardless of how good the guy is, you know what I mean, and how qualified he is.
It wasn't due to lack of effort. And,
No.
and I actually texted him afterwards, congratulating him on running a clean campaign.
Yeah, he did do that.
And he did do that. And, and you can't put a price on integrity.
No, and here's the thing with that too, is like you've seen all the other ones like Jocelyn Benson and Abdul and all those guys. They ended up, coming back and endorsing each other. I think that they might do something with Chris too. I don't know. We'll see. And again, if they don't, that's fine too. I'm sure he's doing whatever he's going to do the rest of his life. He's not a man without ambition or vision. So I think that, who knows? We still have there's some judges that
we have 2 judges that we had on one judge and one aspiring judge that came on, but they weren't on this ballot in the primaries. But they face off head to head in November.
Yeah, it's right around the corner, man. Ballots will be going out pretty soon for that as well. So just I don't know. Do your research on that too and find out what people stand for. And I think that the one thing that we've had with this platform is we've been blessed enough to be able to get some people and get them to answer some questions.
Yeah, and we did get invited. It's not official yet. We asked both Briar Bears and Jack Bader, when they were both on, if they'd participate in the debate. We did get reached out by the Democratic Party. They're working on it, that we get to host a debate. And it's good at a smaller level.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to that. It's kind of a unique opportunity for a couple of podcasters to be able to actually sit down in front of some, some legislative guys as they're making their thing, and it's an exciting thing for them, and it's an exciting thing for us to ask questions.
I think the cool part about it is we'll all be rookies. So it'll be our first time hosting. It'll be they're both running for the first time. Yeah. So no matter who you have as your representative, it'll be a first time representative.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. I've been saying about that race for the longest. That the coolest thing about that race is how young the guys are, and it's kind of inspiring to the next generation that wants to be involved in stuff.
Yeah. But let's talk real quick about Tigers. Talk our sports real quick. Tigers are listen. I said they're going to win the division. They're within striking distance. I still think they are.
They're what, like 5 games out now.
Yeah, they
lost all weekend.
Well, they got swept by the White Sox, which is the one team they couldn't afford to get swept by.
Yeah, I know.
Bounced back last night, beat Pittsburgh. I think they're still 1 or 1.5 games out of the 3rd wild card. But my prediction was win the division.
Right.
Not just make the playoffs. I'd be happy if they make the playoffs, especially with I think it was the May they had, which was just brutal. But I'm standing by my prediction, they win the division. I still got faith.
Dude, have you been watching any of the football stuff?
Did you watch?
Did you watch?
So anxious for football to start.
Did you watch the game last Thursday?
No.
See, I watched it, and I was trying to figure out what Cincinnati was doing because I was like, they had Burrows playing. And I'm like, why the fuck would you have Burrows playing in a pre?
You gotta get your timing down, though.
I get it, and I get that to a certain extent, because it seems like the first game's always kind of a crapshoot for the Lions because they didn't play everybody together. But man, he was getting beat up because I think maybe to get everybody together would be good, but don't start your second team lineman.
Yeah, I'm very excited about football. Michigan came out in the preseason rankings at 15 and 16,
Really?
depending on what you want. Yeah. But dude, they got such a tough road. They in their schedule right now, they have 4 top 10s.
They have 7 home games, don't they?
Yeah, usually they have a decent amount of home games, but I'm just saying they have 4 top 10 opponents, Oklahoma, Indiana, and then 2 top 3 opponents, depending on what poll you look at, Oregon and Ohio State.
Yeah, I see Oregon's got a tough team this year. But again, I seen some guy that was the other day just talking shit about them, saying they were gonna lose a bunch of their home games because of the way they were scheduled. And I was like,
They could be anywhere from
they play Western Michigan.
my real prediction is the basement's 8-4, the ceiling's 10-2. We're gonna get Jared on here. Jared Irons, past guest multiple times. Super great Michigan man, super good dude. He's gonna come on and talk about it. Sparty, little brother, we're probably not gonna talk about you
Yeah,
really much. You just gotta become relevant again.
my son just got his Izzo pass.
I know, and I'm not really trying to poke the bear. Listen,
Yeah.
I'm all for MSU going 11-1 every year.
Yeah,
I really am.
yeah.
I was fine with them in the NCAA basketball tournament coming in second.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, again, it doesn't. I don't know. I like to see both teams thrive. I just
Yeah,
got my
that's-
son going, and it's funny because he's got all of his football tickets bought. And
does that struggle with your allegiance now?
No, I don't know. I'm
So Michigan and I think it's November 7th. I don't have the calendar in front of me. They face off. What are you wearing? Maize and blue or green and white?
depends on if my son takes me to the game or not. I can't to the game wearing green and white. Takes me if I'm sitting here watching with you, it's going to be amazing, amazing.
There you go.
Yeah, blue. But and again, you can be a fan of everything in the world, and like to be a Michigan fan is a fun thing to be, and to be a Michigan State fan is a fun thing to be sometimes.
You have your moments.
Yeah, if you're in East Lansing, it's a good time.
You have your moments. Yeah.
All right, I'm sitting here with Brandon Campbell. He is on the ticket for a new position with the UAW. I'm going to get in here and let you talk to him a little bit, or him talk to us, explain who he is and what he's running for, and maybe some of his past experiences here. Looking forward to letting people get to know you, buddy. So tell them a little bit about yourself.
Cool. Well, first of all, thanks, Chad. Really appreciate you doing this and this outreach to our members. It's so difficult now this isn't a slam on it, but with one member, one vote, it's really difficult for our members to be engaged in this election if they can't get to know the candidates. And we certainly can't get out, and meet and talk to every single one of our members. So this kind of outreach is awesome. So thank you very much. Shows real leadership that we have in our union, you and the local, and just hugely appreciate it. So, not real good at self-promotion. I shouldn't be a politician at all. But my story started, literally before I was a member. Started 53 years ago when I was born into this union. From my earliest days, I remember hanging out at the local union hall, Local 1268 in Belvedere, where my dad was a rep there. He was financial secretary for 32 years, 11 terms. And
Wow.
at a big assembly plant, you of all people know exactly what that's like, right? So, I'll fast forward through a lot of that stuff. And then in 1994, when I became a member, I hired into Chrysler Belvedere Assembly. Interestingly enough, my dad would not fill out a referral form for me because he thought that was unfair. Now, I thought as his kid that was unfair, but in hindsight, you know what? I'm glad things happened like they did. I got involved right away. I immediately got elected to our election committee. I was on the bylaws committee, civil and human rights, and others, right? Then I remember watching the movie Norma Ray. And at the end of that movie, when she's holding up that sign while she's standing on the machine, the sign that says union, I was just hugely inspired by that movie. And I really wanted to organize my own shop. But I, rolled into Chrysler my first day, and I remember looking around thinking to myself, damn, I'm never going to be able to do that. I walked into my union like a lot of us did. But then I got an opportunity to go help other workers, form their own unions. I got an opportunity to organize, and there was no experience like that in the world. Talking to people, helping people without a union get the courage, the spine, find it within themselves to actually go in, walk up to their boss in a non-union shop, walk up to their boss holding a piece of paper that they read, demanding recognition for them and their coworkers as their union. Our members, a lot of our members can't imagine doing something like that. So try to put yourself in a non-union position and doing that out in what I call the real world. So there's just no feeling like that at all. Finally, 2000, I worked the line. I worked in body shop that's where my seniority is still at, in Chrysler Belvedere. And in 2005, I was elected as a floor rep in Chrysler. That's a committee person. Then 2008, I was elected as president of the Amalgamated Local 1268. So we had the assembly plant. We had multiple IPS plants. We actually finally brought in some public workers as well. So we had multiple sectors represented, the local. And then in January of 2009, I went on staff as a servicing rep, servicing, multiple different sectors. And I did that for about 13 years before becoming director. And in that time, I negotiated numerous contracts, dozens of them, handled a litany of arbitrations. I've actually got a winning record in arbitration in both policy cases and in discipline cases. In fact, one of the bigger ones that I had went to federal court. I had a couple lawyers across the table from me. They challenged the decision of the arbitrator in federal court. Ultimately, we prevailed in that one as well. The long story short is Android Industries had closed down, and they ran off. They closed on December 23rd and ran off with the vacation pay that all of our members had accrued for that whole year, saying, well, they weren't on roll January 1st, right? 9 days later.
Right.
So they hit the road. But, that was about a $500,000 settlement for our members who were then out of work. So that's, anyway, that's a huge sense of pride for me, being able to stand up for those members, even when they don't know who the hell we are. Right.
They don't even know they had a voice, right?
None whatsoever. Then 2022, December 12th, I was elected and sworn in as director of Region 4. And that's been a whirlwind. In Region 4, we're the only region that's got a standalone training center. For your listeners, it'd be really cool if they could go check it out, because there's some amazing history there. It's the Pat Greathouse Education Center, or PGC. We've got a 50-room hotel. We've got a full training center building. We run about 35. Last year, I think we did 3,800 people. 3,800 members went through there for some kind of conference or education training.
Where's that located at?
Ottawa, Illinois.
Okay.
So it's kind of north central Illinois, about an hour and a half west of Chicago.
That's where the women's committee met last year, I believe. We sent them there.
Yeah, they've had women's, when LaShawn English had the women's department, she brought the Women in Leadership conference to Ottawa, Illinois. And I tell you what,
there last year.
Yeah, that was amazing. So yeah, we've been really bringing people into Pat Greathouse Center as much as possible. Our members, the members of Region 4 bought the place and opened it up at Labor Day of 1949.
That's awesome.
And it's said that when Walter Reuther came there for the first time, and he was there multiple times, but when he came there, that's where the idea for Black Lake came.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So Region 4 is a pretty big area that you service right now. What kind of made you want to jump from regional director to the financial secretary of the UAW?
Kind of like all the various positions I've had, I always wanted to be a servicing rep. I always wanted to be an organizer from the time that I was a kid and I saw those jobs. I never asked, I never envisioned myself being regional director, quite honestly. But, while I was a servicing rep in 2022, I saw a need in that position. The existing director was retiring. The assistant director of the time decided to retire as well. So there was a big gap there. And I saw a need to step in and lead. I'd been around a long time, done a lot of things, seen a lot of things. And I knew that I could be a resource, a good resource for all of our servicing staff, our cap staff, and everything else. So I felt duty bound there to step in and lead, right? So same thing here with Secretary-Treasurer. It's nothing I ever envisioned myself running for. I don't chase titles. If you go around Region 4, you don't see my picture anywhere. You don't see my name all over the place. You don't see my name on shirts because it's not about that. But for Secretary-Treasurer, there were some huge gaps, I'll say deficiencies in that office. And some examples are, one thing that you're very familiar with is our membership department, which I really appreciate all the work that they do, but they're rudderless. Just like all the other departments under that office, they're rudderless. And there's a lot of talk about hiring outsiders, non-union UAW, or I'm sorry, non-UAW members in some of these roles in the International Union. Well, just the membership department alone. The Secretary-Treasurer's office contracted with Alex Partners, and Alex Partners assured us that for about $775,000, they'd be a one-stop shop. We'd have our membership data portal, and they'd take care of it all for us, right? We're about 10 times that amount right now. And you, as a financial secretary, especially a 4-term financial secretary, you of all people know what you're doing with a membership list, and you know that it's still far from perfect. We don't have a system in place that can stand the test of time. But
There's a couple parts to that are really messed up though, because those axles, or whatever you want to call it, isn't a union shop either, or for union, right? And then our software, Roberts, they're not organized either. So you have Roberts and you have these other people that aren't organized, on that end. And I always kind of struggle with that. It's like we have these people that aren't organized that organize us. You know what I mean? It's kind of an oxymoron, you know what I mean? And trying to get them to work together is, you got 3 different programs right now, and none of them talk right to each other. But and I think that you hit the nail on the head, is that was a big, when they went to one member, one vote, they got exposed on how unorganized they were as far as communicating together. So I will give the membership department, they have gotten a little bit better. And it's not for lack of effort, because they're really trying now to get better at it. But yeah, so you seen the same thing that we're seeing locally. That I was glad that somebody else was seeing it that higher up, because as we inspire in these positions, you don't want to get a phone call that's from somebody that really knows less than you know. And when you reach out to them, you don't want to be, I hate to use the term dumber when you hang up the phone, but that's kind of what you feel like sometimes. Talking to some of the staff down there, I know they can do better. And I never try to belittle anyone. I've always tried to help the process. But when you see that it's about self-promotion, not UAW promotion, it's hard, because collectively, I want to get better at what we do. It's not what I do. We need to get better, right? And when you have somebody that pushes you out and they know the best answer for everything, then you've already lost, because it doesn't work like that. I mean, I'm not the smartest guy in any room, but I try to surround myself with brilliant people. You know what I mean? And that's what a smart person does.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And
100%. Yeah.
and having those resources and having the ability to network and make things work is my special trade, right? That's my superpower, is to be able to negotiate through any system with the right people in place. You have those opportunities. But when you have people that are, I'll call them proud people, when you have proud people that don't want to take advice or listen to, we got 2 ears in one mouth for a reason. We need to listen more, and the answers are all there if we're listening to each other and working towards the same goals.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You talked about surrounding yourself with smart people. You
Right.
know, there's a lot of bravado that, that's not a sexist term. There's a lot of bravado that goes into a lot of these roles. When I was elected as director, by acclamation, thankfully, uh, one of the first choice I had to make, the first decision, and it was a huge one, was who to select as regional assistant director. And we've got a lot of very talented, really dedicated staff in Region 4. But I asked Lucas Despain to serve as assistant director, and I'm okay saying this. He gives me license to say it. He was fighting leukemia. He was fighting leukemia when I called him up and asked him to be the assistant director, and he's like, I've got cancer, right? And I said, that's okay. You're going to beat that. We're going to get through this, right? But I selected him. I asked him to be the assistant director because I truly felt that of anybody that could do a better job than me, it was probably him. So I
Right.
knew that he was the right choice. I wasn't intimidated by that. I was encouraged by that. I knew that he would push me. I knew that he'd be, challenging me and making me better, and he'd make the region better because of it. And so
Right.
it's cliche to say, surround yourself with smart people, right?
Yeah.
But you brought it up, and that's an example where I fully agree with you 100%. And I've lived it. I've proved it. So,
And a lot of people like to take that knowledge when they get it and hoard it because knowledge is power. And I've found that if you don't inspire people, if you don't rise, make people leaders, other people's, as smart as you at least, with the opportunity to be smarter than me, you're only hurting yourself in the long run. As a leader, that's one thing I've always tried to do is educate people and try to give everybody the best opportunity to win for the membership. Because that's
that's
at
right.
the end of the day, I'm a face, I'm a number. I'm going to be gone one day, and I want that I contributed something. I left it better than when I found it. You know.
That's right. That's right.
One more thing.
Go ahead.
As we're moving forward here, um, I want to talk a little bit about the debate because it seemed like everybody was kind of reading from the teleprompters and had a lot of stuff they wanted to get to and didn't have a lot of time to really speak. I felt um, a lot of people didn't get to meet you for who you really are because I've had conversations with you and I felt that was you sounded great but people don't understand the frustration that you had in your voice and stuff too. But I was feeling it on my end because I've been to those meetings when people come and they're not organized with a direct plan and a budget. And it's very frustrating to come in with a blank check and go, this is what I want. And they say, well, you voted for it too. But no, I didn't vote to mishandle money. I voted to have the event. You're supposed to bring me the budget. And a lot of people didn't understand that when you guys were doing your debate. And I totally been in that role. And it's not that I don't want you people to go and be educated, whatever I want real, I'm the one who has to explain it. Right. So I want it to make sense when I explain it. So
Right.
wanted to give you the opportunity to, if there's anything else you want to talk about the debate, or if there's anything, that you think came off wrong, to speak on it now.
Really appreciate that, because there was so much from that debate or that forum. And look, before I even say anything, I want to run on my strengths. I
Right.
really do. And the reality is the person that's sitting in that role now, that's our current Secretary-Treasurer, they now have a record. And if we felt like that job was being done at the level that we deserve, at the level that we pay for, I wouldn't be on this screen right now. I
Right.
would not be running for this job. I'm not doing it for a title. I don't need to or want to do that.
Right.
5 minutes after I'm done with this job, people are going to
Right.
forget my name, right? So
Right.
doesn't matter. Um, but yeah, there's so many things. One of which is just alternative investments. What was the straw that broke the proverbial camel's back for me to run was probably when the president's office got involved in the finances, trying to figure out, the Secretary of Treasurer's office was saying, we're going broke. President's office does a deep dive into our finances and says quite the opposite. There was this push and pull, but while they were digging in, it was discovered there was about $90 million, 90 to 100 million sitting in cash in an investment account. And so many people have heard about the reported $80 million that we lost in opportunity lost. That's where it came from. Now, in the debate, one of the candidates said, well, you two are both on the board. You both voted in favor of making that happen or whatever. No, it's not true. Some people like to lean on Monitor's reports. In the 14th report, the Monitor made it clear that the Secretary-Treasurer's office did not disclose even to the officers, let alone the entire board, what was going on with our investments. And the way we got that, 90 to 100 million dollars in cash sitting there was much of our strike trust is invested in alternative investments. We're investing in venture capital. I call it vulture capital. Those are the billionaires. That's the billionaire class that wants to crush us. That's the billionaire class that wants to take food off of your table to further line their pockets. But we take our dues dollars and invest with them. It's disgusting, first of all. But those investments take years, sometimes 10, 15 years to mature. And a bunch of them from old investments started maturing. And the cash was pouring in, and it just sat there. It just sat there. There was nobody watching our investments closely. And so it was after that that President Fain put me on the board's investment advisory committee. I started really digging into our finances further. So that's one thing that I really wish would have been explored more in the forum or debate. Israeli bonds. Anybody who was at our constitutional convention knows we spent about half a day, important time that we're together. We spent about half a day debating and talking about divesting from Israeli bonds. And the current Secretary-Treasurer got up to the podium and said, it's almost impossible to fully divest from Israeli bonds. 3 business days later, a letter came out from the same office saying, hey, good news. As of today, we're fully divested from Israeli bonds. Well, I went to our investment advisors and I said, hey, during the entire week of the convention, did we own any piece of an Israeli bond? The answer was no.
Right.
The answer was no. So while she was saying that it was almost impossible to fully divest, and then 3 days later, yay, great, we're divested, we owned none. And the reason we own none is because the IAC took it to the board for approval to liquidate all of our holdings in a place called Western Asset. And the reason we did that in 2024, a CFO for Western Asset got themselves into some trouble. We finally discovered that and decided we don't want anything to do with that firm anymore. So we liquidated $61 million of holdings just from the strike trust. And that got us out of every single one of Israeli bonds that we held. And in fact, it was our pension trust at the time that we had $136,000 worth of securities or normal stocks in Teva Pharmaceuticals. It's an Israeli-based company, but not an Israeli government-owned company. That represented about 0.14% of our pension trust fund and had nothing to do with the strike trust fund. I was able to get those answers in minutes,
Right.
and that's something, in my view, a Secretary-Treasurer should know, especially leading into the convention when, where do you send proposed resolutions? Where do you send amendments to the Constitution before it happens? Secretary-Treasurer's office. So they should have
Right.
known it was coming,
And again, at this point too, I think that it's important when I say you surround yourself with smart people, the top AA should know that for the financial secretary too. And those are all and they all need to work as one machine for us. So I think that there's a lot of anybody that's been through a strike or been through, they say that there's some unions that haven't had audits in over 6 years or whatever. And I'm like, I don't know how I've had four in the last 9 years, but I'm overachiever, I guess. But and again, I like audits. They don't bother me. I mean, the audits aren't a bad thing. They keep everybody honest, and I love that. And I love that we have that institution set up like that. But when I have auditors coming in with less experience than I have, and that than my clerical has. I struggle with it just on a knowledge base. And right now, I get everybody's got to be lifted up to that, but don't come in and act like uh, you're solving world's problems when you don't know the answers in your own roof. You know what I mean? You can't justify your problems,
Right.
let alone fix mine.
Yeah, no doubt. And you're an experienced financial secretary at a large local union.
Right.
So you're going to have auditors probably start that do have less experience than you. That's going to happen,
Right.
and they need to be humble enough to take advice from you. They need
Right.
to be humble enough and realize they can learn a lot from you. And like you said, we can then work together and we make everybody better that way instead of coming in and saying, hey, I'm an international auditor. I
Right.
know everything, right? No, I mean, that doesn't need to happen.
Right.
On the audits, I want to make a point because it's been used in some of the AI generated, Facebook material or social media material that the Secretary of Treasurer's office has done 400 audits, celebrating that. Well, I checked in the previous administration under the previous Secretary of Treasurer during that same time, there were about 800 audits done in that same time. And we've
Right.
hired 11 new auditors. So that's
Correct.
abysmal. We can do a heck of a lot better. There's one other thing that's, been reported that the Secretary of Treasurer is saying that their office implemented, and that's direct deposit for strike assistance pay.
Yeah, that's not
Now,
true.
that's not true at all. It was early 2022 before we were all sworn in that we piloted the program in California in the University of California strike, huge strike. That's the
Yep.
first time it was done. So,
And it was in 19 after we went out with GM in 19 that we brought it to the table. And I remember being part of those negotiations and saying, and again, I can remember me and Frank Strickland sitting down and and talking about where our shortcomings were because
yeah,
I felt like after our strike and stuff, we had a lot of stuff to improve on, and so that was already in the process. The app on the phone.
right,
And then when she came in, she took all the credit for it. I was like, son of a bitch, we've been working on that for a long time. And
right,
yeah, but and again, I'm not the guy, I'm not brazen enough to say it's all my idea. Uh,
right,
that's horseshit because there's so many people that worked on that come in and say, "Oh, that's me. I did that." That's
right.
my tag. That's just I don't like that arrogance that comes with that. And then you got your picture everywhere on every billboard. You have an event. There's like cutout standouts of you everywhere. You walk around, and I'm like, I'm not that person either. I know some people are like they think they're so handsome and so beautiful that we should worship them. But that's making you're looking at your other shortcomings, like you didn't do that app and you didn't do some of this other shit you're claiming. The members did, and our work staff that's working extremely hard. I can't imagine what it's like down there right now in Detroit working, because it's like uh, we're both wearing red today for solidarity,
Yeah,
and I feel like we got to get that back. Like we can't just wear red. We actually have to have solidarity. Um,
right.
because I feel like we're losing. You know, at the end of the day, I feel like we're losing who we are in all this internal fighting because we weren't developed to fight each other.
That's right. I mean, my
There's
God,
corporations that we're trying to fight, and if we don't stop this internal fighting, we are going to be our own demise. So,
no doubt. I mean, look at prior to, what led to one member, one vote.
right.
It came from horrible things that some people were doing, and we got the worst press of our, lives,
Hmm.
literally. And then flip to, 2021, the John Deere strike, when our members really stepped up and they didn't just fight the company. They
Yep.
fought back against their union that wasn't, pushing hard enough. and
Right.
glad they did, because I think that momentum then carried through the 2022 IEB elections and then into 2023 and the stand-up strike. And we saw our best news cycles we've ever seen in our lifetimes with the UAW. It was amazing. And then all of a sudden you talk about Solidarity House and the infighting there. I don't live there day in, day out. I'm over in Region 4
Right.
in Illinois, right? But from when I'm at the board meetings, it's not a bunch of, when we sit down for lunch, we're not throwing food at each other. It's not a food fight. We're not MFing each other. But there's a couple people on the board where that is coming from. And you've seen it when, well, let me say it a different way. President Fain and I often disagree, or we often have heated discussions to try to get to the best solution, answer, whatever. And we do those things in good faith. I know that he means well. He knows that I mean well, and we will have that healthy discussion and debate. But we'll do it, oftentimes off the record. We'll go, out of the room, have our discussion, and hash it out. He doesn't go to the press
Right.
talking about me. I don't go to the press talking about him. And when we do that kind of thing, all it does is tears down our organization. It makes us look unorganized. It makes us look silly.
Right.
And to your point, it doesn't just make us look bad to these other corporations and the potential members that work there. It takes our members' solidarity and their pride in their union and just sticks a pin in that
Yeah.
balloon.
The morale. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, so I was a committee man a long time before I was a financial, and we used to have we got 32 committee men in the plant, and if we had a lot of heated discussions behind closed doors, but the one thing that I will give it up to my brothers and sisters that I was over there with, when we hit the floor, we hit the floor together. Whatever happened in that office stayed in that office. And then when we hit the floor, so I can respect a heated conversation because that means you're passionate about what you do and you're speaking from the heart and for the members. And again, when you put it, so I always said we're all alpha males in this room, or females. We're all alpha mentality, right? So
that's right.
we didn't come here to get walked on. We come here to stand up for people and do the right thing. So I think that there's a lot of that we need to get back so that people know that we're fighting for them instead of fighting against each other. And I do have hope that we work through some of these issues we're having and we can get back on the right track here. And I go ahead and tell you, you got my full support. You've come up through the ranks and you're very knowledgeable. You're one of those people I know that I could call and I could expect you to reach back out to me. And that goes somewhere with me. Emails going left unanswered when I have 5,000 members to speak to doesn't really fly with me. And then and again, I think that there's a way to lead that's a more positive way to lead. A phone call from an auditor, from my international auditor would go a long way with it. He called every 2 months just to check on me, to say, hey, what's up? Everything good with you? You know what I mean? It would go I would feel more. I don't ever need it, but it would be nice just to have that phone call every once in a while, just to, check on it, and then maybe let me know if there's something coming down the pipe instead of, I get it from the Detroit Free Press, that we're getting raises in our strike and defense fund or whatever, you know what I mean? Or whatever it is. I think that we can do better. And I think that, you acknowledge that too. And thank you for stepping up and you've seen the need, because we all seen it too. And we're all feeling it locally, our locals in Flint anywhere are.
Right. And
anything else you want to end up here on wrapping things up or?
God, there's a ton.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna belabor all these points. I want to say I strongly advocate for and believe in hiring from within our organization, like-minded people, UAW members, and I think we should do that in every opportunity that we have. We should put our openings out to our membership, make them aware so we can find the best people that are like-minded, that are UAW members, or I don't want to go against anybody who works for the UAW. We've got people that have worked for the UAW that, hell, you've probably got a secretary or an OP that could train the next person when you retire.
I got
right?
the best one in the nation. I'll be honest with you. I have the best. I have the best OP. I'll put her against anybody, and I'm guaranteeing you, I have the best OP in the nation. Don't try and scope her from me.
I was going to say, I'll keep that in mind. But no, I mean, so we should be hiring from within. We demand that from companies. We should demand that from ourselves. And I think we do need some outside influence in certain areas at certain times to give us, fresh ideas, lift us up, invigorate some, some of us. And, but by the same token, the same people who are complaining that we've made any hires from the outside, they're the ones that are paying contractors to do that same work that our members should be doing. The Secretary-Treasurer's office has been contracting with a retired staff person. I don't want to identify them too directly because I just think that's wrong. But we are paying that.
Multiple retirees that are down there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it happens often. But one in particular has been on our payroll as a contractor, making the same wage that they were when they were working. So we're paying, our members are paying their full pension and all their retiree health care and their full wage on top of it. While also we've filled the role with a brand new, new hire. So we're paying 3 times for one job. That is just unacceptable. So there's a few core things that I really want to focus on. And, if I don't have various departments under my purview, you're not going to see me in the Detroit Free Press arguing that I should have more and more responsibility until I get a few things taken care of. And that is a legit budget, right? Get our investments back on track because they're in shambles right now. Our audits, we already talked about that. It's insane to go 6 years or more without an audit. Even an experienced financial secretary like yourself needs that, wants that to make sure that, was there a new rule or new policy or new law that came up that you weren't aware of? That would help make sure that you're abiding by those things. And in fact, I don't know if you know yet, but the LM rules, they are in the midst of changing right now. The AFL-CIO is suing to pause the implementation of those rules, but they're going to make it insanely more difficult for locals like yours, bigger local unions, to file your LM reports. And we need to be letting y'all know about it.
They're already thick.
Yeah, and it's about to get 8-fold thicker.
Yeah.
But you need to know about that. And if you're not seeing an auditor for 6 years, it's pretty hard to know about. And then the last thing is you mentioned it early on. It's Lewis and RCS. Our Lewis system is our membership database, and it is old. It's antiquated. It was written by a UAW employee back in the day. And RCS, Roberts Custom Software, actually started in Region 4. It was a local 865 Harvester Works member who started it, Ken Roberts. But that system, as well as it works for a lot of locals, it doesn't, Lewis and that don't talk well enough. And then beyond that, we have got to rebuild our Lewis system. The current Secretary-Treasurer is saying that we're doing that already. She's relying on the Alex Partners portal, which will not work to replace Lewis. We need to build a system or find one off the shelf where, our financial data will speak to and interchange with our membership data. And we have a separate whole database system for organizing. We have a different database for member concerns when members call Solid House with a concern. We need to build a system that will
Yeah.
exchange all that information where local unions have access to the parts of it that they need. Various departments in Solidarity House have access to the parts they need. You know, it should be one database that covers our membership in total. So those are a few of the things that I am going to be 100% focused on. I will never claim to be able to do that stuff on my own. That's what you hire a team for. You put together a damn good team and you treat them well. You give them the credit that they deserve. You don't take all the credit for their work, and you hold them up, right? You prop them up. So
Right.
anyway,
They carry you, make you look good.
hell yeah, yeah, and I
You're gonna look
need
good
it,
now.
man.
You want to, dude.
I got you've said it before, but I got a face for radio. I need
Yeah,
others
exactly.
to
I do.
make me
Yeah.
look good. Hey
Yeah,
man,
exactly.
you didn't have to so quickly agree with that.
No, I agreed that I said it. I agreed that I said it.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, 140 years ago this year, it was workers, it was working people, it was the martyrs at the Haymarket Square that, we talk about, oh, people have died for the rights that we enjoy as union members today. But with these companies closing factories, dropping wages, just making it, way more difficult for working people to simply live. When these plants close, when there's layoffs, mass layoffs, there are people who don't live to see the next day. They can't take it anymore. Their support system, isn't strong enough to carry them through all of that stress, and they die by suicide and
Yeah.
things like that, heart attacks, things like that. So these companies they're still killing workers. People are still dying to make things better for working people. So let's not, when we hear people say unions are a thing of the past, they were needed back then, they're not needed now. I think they're needed just as much today than they ever have. And we are together. It's not me. It's not Sean Payne. It's not you. It's not a member here or there. It's all of us pulling that rope together in solidarity. That is the only way that I see that we can stand up and win what workers not just deserve, but what we need to even survive in this world in this day and age.
Feel you, brother. All right. Well, I know that ballots are headed out later this week. Some are already hit the ballot mailboxes, I think. Should start seeing them here in the mail for those people. Just want to give everybody an opportunity to talk to you and get to listen a little bit about you. Just and ending here, just tell me a little bit about your family, dude. I know you have one, so I don't know that about you, and I want to humanize you as much as I can here.
Cool. No, appreciate that. So now empty nester. It's my wife and me, and thank goodness for her support, because right now, I mean, you can see I'm in a hotel room. I'm always in hotel rooms, and she supports me 1,000%. That's not super easy to do,
Yeah.
but she really is, the support system for me, so I can do this kind of thing, and always has been. um, I've got 2 children, she's got 2 children, so we're a blended family. We had to
Okay.
work through all of that stuff. I was first elected 21 years ago. um, and so for our whole relationship, she has endured what I do, raising, really being the rock back home all the time. When I was working 12 days, 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, she was there doing it all. Um, like I said, I'm a second generation member. I've got, three boys, 1 girl. My daughter worked at Stellantis in Belvedere. She was at Chrysler Belvedere. They idled, that part of my family got, had to move over to Detroit, where she went to work there. And then she started going to law school. I've got another one of our kids that's working as a operating engineer, so he's in the union as well. um we were a hockey family as our kids were growing up, so along with doing all of this stuff, we were traveling all over the countryside,
Right.
getting
No,
our
you're
kids to hockey and things like that. So
just a dad too, just like the rest of us.
yeah,
The parent is trying to
just a
make it.
dad that yeah, that was usually, on this thing answering
Yep.
emails, texts, and phone calls while I was in the
Yeah.
bleachers.
Oh, I know, dude. I know. I
Right.
lived a life too, but I
Yeah.
can't thank you enough for giving the opportunity to talk with you and to share some of your point of views with people, so people understand a little bit more about you. I know people have been asking, so I just kind of wanted to get you out there in front of my people. And we have a lot of little different listeners from Ford and stuff that kind of follow me too. So I appreciate you giving the opportunity to them as well. But thanks for taking time out of your day today.
Awesome. No, I hugely appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, brother.
So you want to get on the formalities?
Let's get on the formalities.
All right. We've got a grind my gears and a top five. What do you want to go with first?
Let's do with top five.
You want to go first? Or you want me
I
to?
can go first.
Okay.
I had a pretty decent top five.
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to do a blind rankings. By the way,
Okay, I like blind rankings.
it is.
Mine, I might even have done mine before. I don't know that I did or didn't, but I did. So I went to jobseeker.com and I went to the top 5 dream jobs in 2025. Do people dream? What's your dream job?
Just this
Give
is
me-
the ultimate dream job. Could be whatever.
be whatever.
Sportscaster.
Nah, I don't have top 5.
Really?
No. No. So let's just think.
Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't need clues yet.
Okay.
I mean, is it as general as like a celebrity? Or is it like specific like a movie star?
No, it'd be just basic jobs.
Regular jobs.
Just regular
Everyday
jobs.
jobs.
Everyday jobs would be your everyday dream job.
Doctor.
A doctor is number 6.
Number 6. Okay, I need some clues now.
Okay, so think about like if you wanted a life of adventure,
You'd be like a guide, some type of guide, adventure guide,
maybe
a hunting
you,
guide,
you
or
would maybe have a job where you travel a lot.
travel guide,
No.
agent.
Let's say, well, this one would be like an airplane
Oh, pilot.
pilot's number 1.
Really?
Yeah, number 2 is really close.
Airline stewardess,
Flight attendant.
flight attendant.
Yeah,
Really?
number 2. Yeah.
Wow.
These are the 2 jobs.
I'm gonna cheat because you flipped the sheet.
Oh.
Model.
Model.
Everyone wants to look good, right?
Exactly.
Model. And I'm not gonna lie. I saw you flip the
So
sheet.
did you see all of them?
No, I did not.
So
That's the only one.
number 4 is a career which is deep into the human psychic. So
Psychologist,
yeah, a
psychiatrist.
psychologist is number
Okay.
4. And number 5 is what every kid aspires to be when they get on social media.
Oh, influencer.
Influencer.
Really,
number
that
5.
came in the top 5.
Top 5 in 2025. I thought, what a shit
Wow.
list.
That's a terrible list.
Yeah, from job seeker.
What happened to wanting to be the fireman?
Yeah, so that's actually so fireman was on here, firefighter 9. Let me go through these top 10.
Yeah, go through the top 10.
So top 10 was pilot, flight attendant, number 2. Number 3 was a model, psychologist, number 4, influencer, number 5, a doctor, number 6, a teacher, number 7, a lawyer, number 8, a firefighter, number 9, and an entrepreneur for number 10.
Okay.
Which I thought was kind of neat. But
Yeah, it is kind of neat. I'm gonna do something a little different. This is more of a top 10 blind rankings.
okay.
So this is the top 10 NBA players of all time. I know you're a basketball guy.
Yeah. We're gonna go.
So remember,
Okay, so you're gonna say them off, and then I'll rank.
yeah. So you got to remember, you got to reserve some spots.
Yep.
So I'm going to keep a list, and I'm going to read you back your top 10 blind rankings. Shaquille O'Neal comes in at the first choice. Where would you put him in the top 10 all time? You don't know who else I'm going to say.
I would say 10.
Shaq is number 10.
Yeah.
Okay. Got Shaq at number 10. Steph Curry.
Steph Curry is gonna be 5.
Okay. Steph Curry's number 5. We're going to see how well you do with this.
I don't know if that one might be a little high for him, but I like Steph. So
Magic Johnson.
Magic Johnson. I'm
Now, do you put him ahead of Steph or behind Steph?
behind Steph. I put him at 8.
Magic Johnson at number 8.
Yeah.
Okay. LeBron James.
LeBron James, definitely number 2.
LeBron James, number 2. Okay.
2 or 3 as we
Well, which one? You got
No, he's me too. But I'm just saying that's on your list. I'm guessing it'll be 2 or 3.
Okay, well, this is your list.
Well,
Kevin
no.
Durant.
Kevin Durant is a
So do you put him ahead of Steph or behind Steph?
Kevin Durant.
Yeah. That's a tough one, right? That's very.
That is a tough one.
So you got to think about that.
So where would I have him at? I had Steph Curry at 5.
He had Steph at 5.
Let's go. I'll put Steph Curry at 6.
You can't move Steph.
I'm
Curry.
sorry, Steph Curry. I mean Durant. That's
Durant.
6. Yeah.
Okay. Kevin Durant goes to number 6.
Yep.
Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant's gonna be number 3.
So he's ahead of Steph, but behind LeBron.
Yep.
Okay. I like that so far. Larry Bird.
Larry Bird's gonna be 7.
So Larry Bird's behind Steph and behind Durant.
Yep.
Okay. Russell Westbrook.
Or 4.
Number 4 all time. You putting him ahead of Steph Curry?
Yep.
I don't agree with that, but
Okay.
it's your top 10 blind rankings.
Going generational too.
You're going generational. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
9. Then Jordan's number 1.
Well, I didn't say Jordan was even an option.
He's gonna be out.
Last option is Michael Jordan.
Number 1.
Okay, so I'm going to read you your top 5. Or your top 10. I'm sorry. You got Jordan at 1, LeBron at 2, Kobe at 3. I totally agree with that right there.
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook at 4. I totally disagree. He should be down at 10.
Yeah.
Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Shaquille O'Neal. Do you like that top 10?
Yeah.
You really like if you knew all those names, that's how you'd rank them?
Pretty close, yeah.
You'd have Russell Westbrook that high.
I don't know that
You'd have Shaq
I might have even moved. Yeah, Shaq has never been a dude. He's number 1 if he hit free throws. He'd be no higher on the list.
Yeah, but he was still a dominant force. You had to play around him.
No, I mean you didn't have Giannis on that list.
Well, no. I know. You're right.
I know. So I mean, like,
you
there's
got
other-
multi-generational.
Yeah, so I think that Kareem was better than Shaq.
Okay.
So I got him higher than Shaq.
I think you got Steph too high.
Do you?
I think he's about a 7. If I just knew these names in advance, I'd rank him around 7.
Yeah, and again,
8.
and Russell, you're probably right, but I'm again, it's one of those ones. I don't know. Everybody's got him on different boards.
Yeah, he's a different type of player.
Right.
I mean, if you want to talk about outside shooter,
Yeah.
I mean, highlight film.
Yeah,
He's
you're right.
number one.
He's
You know.
probably too high if I put him,
But I think he got 1, 2, and 3 spot on.
right.
Spot on. So solid list.
It's easy when you talk about that kind of stuff, though, because those are like because we watch basketball through the
Yeah. Well, it's blind, so
Yeah.
you don't know what you got. Grind my gears.
grind my gears.
I'll go first.
You go first.
Mine is like, dude, I don't know what it is lately. Everyone has a lack of patience. It is super irritating when you're trying to help them. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
It's like everyone's lost their freaking mind. So
Yeah.
lack of patience. Oh, look at my fucking what if.
I'm not.
You're trying to cheat.
No, dude, you totally don't know that I can't read from that.
Oh,
far away.
okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
I cannot.
okay.
Shit, my glasses are over here, bro.
Oh, okay.
I can't
yeah.
read shit from over here. I was looking more at the bush light, and you kept flicking your pen.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. So lack of patience on people. I've noticed it very extreme the last like 6 months. People just chill out.
Yeah,
Chill. Oh,
calm down.
yeah. I'll tell you some more off air about it.
Okay. So my grind my gears this week is people that act like they're doing you a favor when they're not doing you a favor. Fucking drives me
You
crazy.
talking like there's a catch, something's attached to it?
No, just in general. Like people act like like they're doing. Hey, I got this for you. No, you got that for yourself, dude. Fucking don't. Or you know what I mean, or they act like they're doing you a favor, like it was something they were supposed to do. Like I don't know. Maybe I'm just. I could because I've been in pain or whatever, and like everything's like.
What
Thank-
meds are you on?
Right now I'm not on many. I've been on CBD mostly. And I tell you what, dude. There's
believe it?
there's different levels in CBD. And that CBD that they had me on, or that I had myself on, self-medicated, because I didn't want to take oxys. Oxys make you like constipated, like fucking it's terrible. And but those gummies, I bought some that were 350 milligrams. They were 35 milligrams a piece, 10 of them. Eat one of them, good. Like numb the pain. You felt good. You ate 2 of them, you want to take a nap. Still nothing bad. So I took all 10 of the first pack that I took. And then we went
At the
up.
same time?
No, just
Oh.
throughout the week.
Okay.
And then I ended up going up north, and I went to a dispensary, and they were like, "Yeah, we don't sell CBD here. We just sell THC." And I was like, "Well, I don't want any THC." With my dad, my mom. No,
Only when the
fuck,
parents are
yeah,
around.
I don't-
They
I
do
don't-
listen. They do listen to this, by the way.
Yeah, and so I was like, "Ah, fuck that. I don't want to do that." So I didn't do it, and then for the next one, it's like here. I ended up getting some CBDs. They sent me to this place around the corner, and I went and got some CBD. They were 1,000 milligrams a gummy.
Is that strong? That's super
The
strong.
first one was 35.
Oh, jeez.
So I took it for science, and I realized that's 1,000 milligrams of fucking CBD, and I was fucking high as draft pussy all fucking day.
Wow.
Like fucking stoned out of my mind. And I'm like just sitting there, and brother's like, "You okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I drank 72 beers and fucking." I was like, "Yeah, good, dude. Fucking, this is all good, dude. I'm good." Yeah, but that was my grandma gears that people act like they're doing you a favor, and you're like, "Dude, really? I guess you don't realize how much I do for you, and then that you doing that little bit is not a favor for me. It's actually I do part of your job, and you're actually just doing your whole job that you're supposed to do. But thanks for doing your whole job. Yeah, it's like you guys are so sweet."
What if? Can't
What
play the music because we don't have the
Yeah.
mixer hooked up. So I got a good what if.
All right.
Actually, it come up. I did a search on it, and I thought it was really good. What if you didn't require any sleep? What would you do with the additional time? Because we are all acclimated to setting
Yeah.
aside anywhere 6 to 8 hours of sleep a night, right?
Dude, I would probably
So what
work
would
out.
you? Would you?
I would something if you weren't tired, if you didn't need that to recuperate,
Yeah.
like I would do something to better myself. I think because right now I find stuff to better my environment like that I'm in. It's like I find a lot of projects to do, and that's why I'm struggling so bad with this. It's like because it sucks because every time I overdo it, I'm down for 2 days. Like it's like damn, dude, it like everything just aches. Uh, I want to say that I would do something better to keep my health better. What would you do?
I would actually, it kind of coincides with sleeping. I'd have some downtime because
Yeah.
honestly, dude, I get up, I got like a 45-minute period in the morning, I chill, and then it is nonstop till the second I go to bed. So to have some time to sit down and watch movies
Yeah.
or sit at the water's edge and just,
So I watched a good movie this weekend. You gotta watch it. I sent you
which one?
That 72 hours.
Oh, so you sent me that out of the blue.
Yeah.
And I had seen the preview for it. It's ironic because I didn't even knew the movie existed. And then I saw the preview for it the night before you sent me that.
Oh, really?
And I'm like, oh, it must be good because he just sent that to me out of the blue. Or it was ironic.
It's hilarious. You're gonna die when you
Yeah.
watch it. It's
Yeah.
real good.
I'll watch it. Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart, you can't go wrong.
Yeah. Kevin Hart. But anyways, yeah, I'd find downtime to catch up on movies, maybe binge watch a series or something like that. That's what I would do because I don't have downtime during my day
Right.
ever. So that's what I would
You
do.
need a job where you have downtime during your day.
Working on it. I'm
On
working
your
on
next
it.
job, you need to do
Podcasts is downtime. So, Brandon Campbell, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for
Thanks
taking
in
time.
advance, brother.
Yep. And then hopefully we get some people to know you a little bit better and explain that struggle you're going through right now. And
Well, it's just different than the other elections.
it is,
We spotlight.
I want to talk a little bit too with him about some of the things that I dream in are at this point I'm hoping that you guys know some of the stuff that we've already talked about. So I'll slip it in here and before that we talked about with Brandon. So it'll be great.
Yeah. Sponsors again, H2O in Bay City, 996 East Midland Street, Bay City. Great meals there, great drinks, seafood, steak, sandwich, whatever you want, tacos.
Yep. And I got Financial Plus Credit Union.
Trust them with your money.
Trust them with your money. Go to Think Huddle Alone, buy some tequila.
And Spirit, there you go. Spirit of the Great Lakes Tequila, greatlakestequila.com. There's a nice big orange buy now button when you click on there. Goes right to your doorstep. Can't beat it.
I heard they're bottling.
Anejo, we've been talking about it for a while.
I heard they're bottling. So,
You tasted the samplers.
dude, it's so good. I can't wait to get more. I want full bottles on my bar.
So our listeners that are bourbon guys,
Mm-hmm.
if you haven't had a high-end Anejo, this blows it out of the water.
No,
If you want that sipper.
in
In a highball or something?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so good, dude.
Super good.
You don't even have to have it chilled. It's so good.
Yeah. So,
So,
all right, buddy, we're going to wrap up this week.
all right, man.
God bless everyone. We are We are out. We will see you next week.